Hi everyone, this is Herb from World of Walt, and today I don't have a standard podcast show, but rather my 2017 Christmas card to you. Before the Christmas card, however, I have an important announcement about the future of this podcast. After a lot of thought and consultation with others, I've decided to end the World of Walt podcast, at least for now. Now, this isn't the end of the World of Walt site, it's not the end of the Pin of the Month Club, and it's not the end of Facebook Live videos, but it is the end of this podcast. This has been a hard decision. I've loved doing the podcast, and I've met many great people, and I'm very thankful for that. So to Russ Reeves and Phil Gramlich, Johnny Shortsleeve, Aaron Cohen, Brian Collins, and the many others who have co-hosted with me, thank you. Getting to know you all the better has been an unexpected blessing, and I hope that our connection won't end here. So why am I ending the podcast now? Well, like everyone, I have a limited number of hours in the day. I've really loved doing Facebook Live and I've enjoyed chatting with everyone on the Facebook Live broadcasts. The interaction is a blast, and a podcast just doesn't offer that sort of live interaction. I also feel very blessed that I live nearby Walt Disney World parks, and I want to and I get to share that in video form with you when I do Facebook Live. So my plan now is to focus more on Facebook Live. I have a few interesting ideas on how to make future Facebook Live broadcasts even more interesting, so stay tuned to Facebook for more information on that. For all of you who have faithfully listened to the podcast since 2014 and helped drive 250,000 downloads of the World of Walt podcast, my sincere thank you. To me, this is not a goodbye, but rather a see you somewhere else, like on the website and on Facebook Live. So, now that the business is out of the way, time for my Christmas card to you. This Christmas card for 2017 is a lot like my Christmas card for 2015 and 2016, but I hope that you will still enjoy it. Let me begin by wishing my friends who celebrate the rededication of the Jewish temple a very happy Hanukkah. And to my friends who celebrate Christmas, I would like to share something with you. At Walt Disney World, shows and attractions come and go. Fun additions for Christmas time this year include the expanded Christmas Tree Trail at Disney Springs and a new Christmas show on Sunset Boulevard in Disney's Hollywood Studios, a park that sure does appreciate some extra attractions these days. It looks like the Starbright Holidays Christmas Drone Show is not coming back to Disney Springs, which is a bummer because that drone show was simply amazing. I hope you had a chance to check it out while it was showing last year. Now, we lost something else a few years ago as well, and today I'd like to take a look back at it. Actually, it's better to say that we lost a piece of something. So here's what I mean. Many of you may be familiar with the Candlelight Processional, which was a Disney show that traces its roots back to predecessor presentations that started in Disneyland way back in 1958, in which the Magic Kingdom management duplicated at the Magic Kingdom in 1971. At Walt Disney World, the show relocated to the American Gardens Theater in 1994. That's the theater in Epcot that's along the shores of the World Showcase Lagoon and is directly across the promenade from the American Adventure. So this show each year has celebrity narrators and a huge choir and an orchestra that performs traditional holiday songs as part of a retelling of the biblical story of Christmas. Now, like many things at Disney World, this show, the Candlelight Processional, has changed over the years. If you listen to the broadcast, you know that sometimes I'm kind of a traditionalist and I enjoy many things at Disney the way that they were. So, for example, in 2013, Disney changed the scriptures in the Candlelight Processional from the King James versions, which honestly can be kind of hard to understand, to a more modern English Standard Version. Also in 2013, Disney dropped a poem from the show. The poem was written by Dr. James Allen Francis, who was born in 1864 and who is from Nova Scotia, Canada. Now, Dr. Francis became a pastor at the age of 21, and over the years he wrote a handful of books, and he also wrote one little 298-word poem that, in its day, became very popular. It became really popular. In fact, and a little oddly, his poem became so popular that over the years and along the way, the authorship of the poem fell into obscurity. Even now, the words to Dr. Francis's poem are often credited to an anonymous author. Anyway, back to Disney. Since the poem by Dr. Francis was dropped from the Candlelight Processional show in 2013, it means the last time it was presented in Epcot was 2012. That year, there were some great celebrity narrators who read Dr. Francis's poem, including Gina Davis, Neil Patrick Harris, Whoopi Goldberg, Blair Underwood, Jodie Benson, Gary Sinise, Amy Grant, and some other people who, quite honestly, I did not know and recognize. Now, we may never know exactly why Disney pulled Dr. Francis's little poem from the Candlelight Processional, but I, for one, missed that poem. So for this year, in this 2017 Christmas card, I would like to join those narrators from 2012 and share Dr. Francis's poem with you. It's called One Solitary Life. Here we go. Here is a man who was born in an obscure village as the child of a peasant woman. He grew up in another obscure village. He worked in a carpenter shop until he was 30, and then for 3 years was an itinerant preacher. He never wrote a book. He never held an office. He never owned a home. He never had a family. He never went to college. He never put his foot inside a big city. He never traveled more than 200 miles from the place where he was born. He never did one of the things that usually accompany greatness. He had no credentials but himself. He had nothing to do with this world except the naked power of his divine manhood. While still a young man, the tide of popularity turned against him. His friends ran away. One of them denied him. Another betrayed him. He was turned over to his enemies. He went through the mockery of a trial. He was nailed upon the cross between two thieves. His executioners gambled for the only piece of property he had on earth while he was dying, and that was his coat. When he was dead, he was taken down and laid in a borrowed grave through the pity of a friend. 19 wide centuries have come and gone, and today he is the center of the human race and the leader of the column of progress. I am far within the mark when I say that all the armies that ever marched, and all the naves that were ever built, and all the parliaments that ever sat, and all the kings that ever reigned, put together, have never affected the life of man upon the earth as powerfully as has this one solitary life. Merry Christmas, my friends, and until next time, may God bless you.